I do a lot of important things. So I have a lot of important keys I'm going to be showing you today. Okay. Okay. Let's start with this. These ones, hello. These ones are from a old church that I used to manage. Um, there was like a lot of ravens in the church that the people that used to go there, the elders essentially that used to go there, were really worried about. So they gave me these keys to get into the church to like check on the ravens. Like I think it was every like 2 to 3 times a week. And I would like give them fresh water and I'd throw like birdseed around and I'd just hang out with them because they're actually very social creatures. So yeah, that's what these are for. This was to the main door. This was to like a side door that I could get into because sometimes the main door wouldn't open for some reason. And then this actually, I never knew what this was for. This looks like a smaller, kind of, almost like a little, like a chest of drawers key. And I never knew what it was for, and I never asked because they didn't like me asking questions. So I never asked. But these keys are pretty cool. They're the oldest keys I probably have on this entire thing. Switching it up. These are more recent looking. These were two lawnmowers because I used to mow for another church, actually, funnily enough. And these are both the two different lawnmowers, and I just have them. And then this was to a little supply closet, like I guess it was more like a shed. They had one of the churches had where they kept the lawnmower. The other one just kept it like on the side of the building, which I always thought was really dangerous because somebody could steal it. Not me. I would never. Even though I do have the key for it. Even though I do have one of the keys for it. Okay, cool. We did that one. Let's see. What were these for? A lot of these like have similar looks, so I have to like try and remember. These were for, oh, I remember. I used to house sit for a lady, and she would always have me go out into her yard. These were not even for the house. I don't have house keys for her house. She would just keep them like under the mat, and I would just get into the house that way. These keys, again, I don't ask questions. I'm just here to get paid. These keys were to another like outside barn type thing. And what she would have me do is she would just request that I go out and I unlock and then lock, and I don't open the door, unlock and then lock back these two separate doors. There was like one on the front and then one on like the front. Like it's kind of like, how do you describe it? It's like a long barn thing, and like there was like a front door and then a back door. It was like, yeah, it was interesting. And she would have me go out and lock and unlock the doors. And she was like, don't go in there, just go and unlock and then lock them back. I think I had to wait like 30 seconds or something. It was interesting. And yeah, so that was kind of fun. This lady was super funny, quirky. She was quirky as hell. Okay. These were to a butterfly sanctuary that I used to co-manage a couple years back, and it was actually a really cool job. And it was obviously a seasonal job because we'd have to let them rest and like chrysalis and everything. But these were to the sanctuary. There were two like greenhouse like type things. And this was just to the both of them, and that was a really cool job. Actually, I liked it a lot. It was cool to like see the butterflies like go through their processes, hatch and grow and everything. Yeah, it was really cool. And then these I think I actually got. That's cool. It's kind of like a little with little teeth. These I actually got, this must be my animal keychain, because these I got from a seagull sanctuary. I've worked at a lot of sanctuaries for animals because I love animals, but this was from a seagull sanctuary. Kind of funny because this looks like a seagull. Yeah, so that was also really cool. They would always steal my lunch every day. I might have kind of given it to them also, but they would literally steal my lunch every day. It was awesome. And then these have to be animal related. Let me think, because all of them so far on this little section right here have been animal related. This was the bat sanctuary. Yeah. Bat sanctuary. Which actually, bats are so cute. They're like little dogs, kind of. Like their faces look like little dogs. I really love bats and stuff. But yeah, this was to the bat sanctuary. This was the key. We had like a main office. This was the key to the main office. And then this was actually to like the room where they all resided. And the thing about bats is that you have to keep them kind of separate. Like they can't coincide all the time, even though they're kind of like, they're not called a pack, but like a pack species. Like they do like cuddling together, but some of them we had to keep separate, like when they were sick or stuff. And this was that key to that room. So that was really cool. That was a fun job also. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, this is a big woo. These are actually all, except this one. I think I actually just found this on the side of the road and I was like, cool, gotta add to the collection. But pretty much all of these keys here, you see this enormous chunk of keys that I got this chain specifically for. Is for, I actually used to work at a museum, and these are just keys to like all the different rooms, and my job especially entailed these keys, because my job was to go in at night and lock up the whole place. And it was really fun because I got to like be in a museum alone at night, and it was creepy and fun and cool. But my job was to literally go there at night, and I would check the rooms, but it was mostly just to lock every single room. Literally, I would go from room to room, and they all had doors, and they all had different locks. And it was a really cool job. It was so much fun. But yeah, so that's what all these keys were to. Let me see if I can remember what rooms these were to. I feel like I'm not going to be able to. But it was a really interesting job. Oh, see, look, Gus. That was the person that worked before me, who had that job before me, was Gus. He was a pretty popular guy around that museum. Everybody loved him. Even though, like, you know, they didn't actually hang out with him a lot at work, but that's what made him so popular. He like befriended everybody there, even though he was only there for like, you know, the night shift essentially. But he went to like all the work parties, and like he was very famous. But yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to remember it. The only one I actually remember is this one right here, because it's such a fun little shape. This one was to the vintage Christmas tree display that we would do like every year for Christmas. So I was kind of reminiscing about that actually, because Christmas just happened. It was to the vintage display of like, it was a bunch of really old vintagey Christmas trees, and we like had a collection of like actually super old ornaments. It was a really cool display. And so yeah, anyway, that was a really cool job, and it entailed so many keys. Okay, so next, let's go. We gotta get through this, guys. There's so many. Okay. These were to a water park. I also have worked at a water park. These were to a water park. That was a super cool job. I didn't really like the people I worked with, though. They were slippery fellas. Didn't like them, but I did like the job because essentially I just kind of like ran a couple of, like, I had a section of like water slides that I essentially ran, and that was really fun. And this was just, I think, again, supply closet, and then this was to, I think this was to just like the main, I don't really know because I never opened, like, so I never had to like actually open the park or anything. Like, I wasn't like the head honcho there that had to open the park and shit. I was just like one of the people that ran the slides. But this was to the supply closet, and I actually think this was probably to all of the water slides, but it was kind of a shady business, and like they hardly ever locked anything up, or so unlocking it was not necessary ever. Again, weird job, kind of cool. Very unsanitary. Water parks are very unsanitary. Don't go to them. Okay, what was this too? Oh, auto store. Cha-ching. This was for I worked at an auto parts establishment. It was actually family owned, so it was like a small business essentially. But it was a cool job. I don't really like customer service jobs, to be honest. That's why I really liked the museum job. It was super low key, and I didn't have to interact with anybody. This was the auto parts job. These little keys were to some toolboxes that we had. And then this was the front door, and then this was the back door, which had two different locks, because we had to change one of the back locks because it broke, essentially. We don't know if somebody tried to like break in, or if like one of the other employees, had a rage and like just completely destroyed it. I have no idea. We never figured it out because that place didn't have cameras, which kind of allowed some sketchy behavior to happen, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, it was a pretty good job. The owners were super nice. It's so crazy seeing these old names. Pat. Pat was, this was from, it was another small business, actually. It was a food restaurant. It was a old Greek place that was in a downtown area. Pat was one of the ex-cooks, I think. He didn't get fired, he just quit. He retired. He literally worked there for like probably 35 years, which is crazy. Obviously, I could not work anywhere for that long, obviously. Obviously, my track record. But yeah, Pat was also pretty renowned. You have to have your renowned cook, at your small business. And then these were actually the truck keys. We had 2 trucks, same model, same build, so they actually had kind of basically the same keys. But we would do deliveries, so I had 2 keys, because I would be the one that did that a lot. And then what was this? I think this was just to the front door, to be honest. I really don't know why they insisted on having everybody have the front door key, because a lot of, like, usually it was the same people opening. Okay, let's see. Is this the last one, or did we do this one? Oh, no, we didn't do this one. Oh, I like to call this dude Mr. Keys. Can you see that? Mr. Keys. I don't know if you can see that. It's very tarnished. There's a little guy. Do you see? Ooh, Mr. Keys. Jordan! That's a friend of mine back there. He likes to bark randomly sometimes. I don't really know why. He's a very interesting fellow. Let's see. Oh, okay, so this was Mr. Keys. This was actually, funnily enough, it was a key manufacturer. And this was the mascot, was Mr. Keys. I really hope you can see that. My camera quality isn't really good right now. But this was Mr. Keys. It was a key manufacturer. And it was a pretty big company, actually. I'm pretty sure they closed down a couple years ago, though. Just because the influx of like smart locks and everything, you don't need as many keys. Funnily, I have all of them. These are going to be the last keys standing in the world. But yeah, this was to like a whole chunk of things. Like, I think these were, again, supply closets. And And then these, I think one of these was the front door. There was like a side building that we kept like extra metal alloys for the keys. And then I think this was to the printing room, actually. Or this could have been to the glass cutting machine. I don't quite remember. It was a funky looking key, isn't it? Okay, I think that's all of them. We're back to the old church where I looked after the crows. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed the jingle jangle of the keys. It was fun. Okay, bye.